For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. You know, we are on week 13 of The Scribble, and that never gets old. Come to think of it, yes it does. Hey everybody, Jeremy Bradley here. Welcome to The Scribble. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, originally I had signed on to do 12 weeks, 12 shows of this podcast, 30 minutes, me chatting with celebs, me hanging out, me just talking about what's on my mind, and never did I think we would have had such a great response from listeners, so thank you so much that, yes, I have agreed to do at least 10 more, so we're going to hit up to 23 episodes of The Scribble, and it's all thanks to you for subscribing on iTunes and just giving some great feedback on Twitter and Facebook and sending in messages. It's been wonderful, so thank you so much for that. Over the past couple of weeks, it's just been me talking. We haven't had any celebrity friends joining us. Well, we're changing that this week. And Big Brother Canada host Arisa Cox is joining us for the entire podcast. That's pretty cool. The season finale is coming up on Wednesday on Global, and Arisa's going to be giving us the inside scoop. See, what I love about this is that she's got the insight because she's like right there with them and knows a little bit about them. And then I'm watching from a viewer's point of view, right? And then when we get together, we have these chats that go on for quite some time. So Arisa was on our radio show earlier in the week, but we ran out of time and we can't always run the entire interview, so it's going to be great that we can chat with Arisa here for any length of time that I want. Now, I've also made some observations this season that I'm going to run by Arisa and see if she's caught on to some of these little quirks and quarks that the house guests have, and we're going to have some laughs along the way. Now, in other TV news, just a few days ago, David Letterman signed off of The Late Show, and he was on for 20-some years on CBS, 30-some years doing late night. He was over at NBC, and, you know, it was a star-studded finale in the weeks leading up to Wednesday night, but I was expecting a little bit more on Wednesday's show when Letterman finally said goodnight and farewell. You know, they had just the celebrity guests that came out during the top 10 list, so like Billy Crystal and Steve Martin, Barbara Walters, Jerry Seinfeld. But I was wanting more. It was more just a look back, and then it didn't seem... I don't know. I was expecting sort of a big flashy ending. But maybe that's also just not Dave's style. Now, in recent years, I've also criticized Letterman, and I think that a lot of TV critics have as well, to say that he's kind of just been phoning it in for the last little while. It doesn't seem like his heart's been in it. Even when they were recapping some of those clips from the past where he's, you know, outside running around and doing crazy things. But keep in mind what his age is now, so it's understandable. And, you know, one thing to keep in mind, too, is that if you've been doing the same job for 30 years, his in the public eye, you want to start to slow down after a while, right? You're not going to have the same energy as you did when you first started. So either way, you know, Letterman, a TV legend, and even all the other late-night TV hosts chimed in to say that he was an inspiration to them, just as Letterman said the same thing about Johnny Carson years ago, and actually I guess he still does. So hats off to Letterman. Now, I don't know if he's going to return to television anytime soon. You might recall that Barbara Walters and Regis Philbin signed off from their daytime shows and then all of a sudden came back in some sort of capacity, whether it be on another TV network or Barbara Walters and her primetime specials. She just can't get enough of the camera. But I think that Letterman's just done. I'd be surprised if he signs on for any other TV deals. But certainly, you know, let me know your thoughts. Would love to hear from you. We're on Twitter, at The Scribble Show. That's at The Scribble Show. And you can also go to thescribbleshow.com. Send me a message there. Or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/speakfreemedia. And again, all those links are on our website at thescribbleshow.com. I think it's time to get to the celebrity phone because I know I just can't wait to talk to Arisa Cox, so here we go. I watch every week to make sure we're not wearing the same thing. Host of Big Brother Canada, Arisa Cox, joining us once again. You know, I comment on your outfits every week, I do.
Well, I have to say, the fashion, the style, it actually does generate quite the interest, which is cool. But luckily, I'm quite overshadowed by Gary Levy and his outfits every week for the sideshow for Big Brother Canada. So as crazy as I think my style is, I can't get anywhere near to him.
No, so does he have like critiques for you then, and he's offering up what you should and shouldn't do?
No, I think he knows I'm very well taken care of. We've got a wicked stylist who works on the show. She's actually in charge of all the costumes for all of the challenges as well, which has been awesome. So it's their department. Lisa Williams helps pick out these incredible looks, and Gary does his own thing, and she kind of helps him with that too. And then Peter also has kind of brought the fashion a little bit this year. So yeah, fashion, huge.
You mentioned...
But nothing near the craziness of the actual show.
No, I was going to say, what is the spandex budget this year? I mean, it's almost every
huge.
Second. Yeah.
It's a huge budget. No, I think that's one of the strengths of our show. I have to say, the challenges are so well thought out and well put together, and then the costumes, all of it has like turned into something really cool. Like the guy who actually produces the challenges, I mean, he's got a team of 3, but he's one of the most amazing minds working in TV right now, and you probably know him from Video on Trial. His name is Trevor Boris. He's a comedian. Mm-hmm. He has probably one of the best jobs on the whole show. It's developing these awesome challenges that really do shape what happens in the game. It's pretty cool to watch. Well,
before you said that like the challenges are the draw, I thought you were actually going to say that it's the spandex that's the draw. I'm like, really? Is that your claim to fame on Big Brother Canada? Really?
No, I think the spandex just, brings it to that whole other awesome level.
Yeah, of course it does. But so let's talk about this season, because frickin' crazy. Like, it's one of the, just when you think things are going smoothly, there's a shakeup, right? You've got triple eviction, you've got the mystery box coming out of the floor. I mean, I can't even keep track.
No, there's a lot going on, and what's cool is this season we've got the majority of the cast are super fans. They know the show. They know how it works. They know classic Big Brother theory. They know all that stuff going into it. So as much as it would be awesome to just have zero twists at all, for this group of people in particular has been so fascinating to watch. And you're right. A lot of drama, and I watch a lot of drama too. Love Game of Thrones, love Walking Dead. But generally, we like those shows because they surprise us, and I think that's what Big Brother does, like, every week. Like, just when you think you know what's going to happen or who's aligning or what the schemes are, something else completely different happens, and that's so much fun to watch.
Okay, so what's been your favorite twist this season?
I have to say, this latest Secret Power in the Have-Not Room, it was so dramatic the way it went down that I just absolutely loved it. And it's similar to, there's other twists in different Big Brothers around the world that use some type of coup d'etat or house flip type twist.
Right, yeah.
I really, really like how we did ours because we watched 2 girls, Sarah and Brittany, just be convinced that Canada hated them and that's why they were voted have-nots for the week, only to find out they were voted as such because Canada wanted them to be able to compete for this crazy superpower that would change the whole game. And that's how we talked about it in the very first episode when we did the house tour, and we revealed the secret vault that was in the have-not room. Like, that was the moment. We knew when this happened, something big was going to happen in the show, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh, having so much fun with Arisa Cox, host of Big Brother Canada. More with Arisa right after this.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 41.com. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom41.com.
Back here chatting with Arisa Cox, a host of Big Brother Canada. We were talking about all the twists and the surprises, the shocks, and the have-not room we mentioned in the last segment. Do they just have to sleep on the floor in it? Like, are they confined to it at bedtime? Sort of like, what's the deal with the have-not room this season?
Yeah, the have-not room is a place where you have to sleep. you're on slop for the week, usually.
Right.
There might be other things involved, costumes or whatnot, but generally they do have mattresses, and they're thin and scary. I don't know if you watched Scandal, but the second I saw the Have Not room, I was like, oh my gosh, isn't this the interrogation cell Scandal? Yeah, so that's where they were at bedtime. At times, production needs them to be in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, that's the situation. It can't be fun.
So it's not like a timeout room. Like some people were wondering if they've got to spend, a certain amount of hours in there in a day, or what the deal is.
No, I think that's where their stuff is. That's where they sleep at night. And in this latest challenge, I believe at one point the have-nots were actually in their room for several hours, while everything else was planned around this challenge, right? This random challenge twist. The house to its core.
Now, you talk about the house tour, and I guess you probably get this question a lot, are you told about the twists before they happen? Were you shown the trapdoor in the floor before that? Like, what do you know going into this?
Oh, so, okay, going into it from the get-go?
Yeah.
I know some things, for sure, and the vault coming out of the floor, that was actually in our first episode.
Right.
So that I did know about, and I think people who don't work in production often mistake how the process works. These challenges, twists, are planned months and months in advance. This idea that, oh my gosh, the production is rigging something for somebody, absolutely not. We plan this stuff so far in advance. And the way it happens floors us every time. Like, you can't write this stuff. So we feel like our job is to really, set all the traps. We know what's going to happen in terms of the flow of the game till the end, but we have no idea. Out of all the people that start on the first day, who's going to be left at, say, Final Six? It's so cool to work on something where you do not know what's about to happen.
Now, we've heard Marsha the Moose sort of once when they hit her in the car. Marsha this season, though, what's up with that?
Marsha's okay. She was not killed in her accident. But I'm not 100% sure if we're going to see Marsha again this year. I'm not sure. I would love to talk to somebody who might know, like, I don't know, maybe Trevor
would know,
who's also the challenge producer on our show. I never quite seem to see Trevor Boris or Marsha in the same place at the same time. I'll find out. I'll get back to you on that.
It's odd. Is Marsha on Twitter? Do we know?
She is on Twitter. Hold on. I'm checking my phone right now so I can get her Twitter handle for you. I believe it's at Marsha the Moose, so definitely follow her.
Right. Okay, so I've made some observations, speaking of Twitter, and I've been tweeting about them. So tell me if you've noticed these things, okay? When Pilar is put on the spot and stressed out, she starts talking with a Nova Scotian accent.
You think?
I think so. I hear it come out. I'm just like...
That's an interesting observation. I haven't heard that one. Carry on.
Okay. You haven't heard that, though? Because I'm just like, where did this accent come from? Is she Madonna all of a sudden? She's just got this, like, new accent? Okay. Here's
my God, you are so hard on these house cats. Okay, more. Give me more.
Yeah. Okay. Zach's eyes don't blink at the same time. Come on, you've noticed that.
Yeah, you know what? I have been noticing that as I stare into his liquid brown eyes. Well, he's good in the diary room, I have to say. Doesn't wear a shirt too often. Doesn't like shirts.
Wait a second. He's very good in the diary room. Tell me, what are we missing? What are we not seeing there, Arisa?
No, I think he's got some interesting insights. I mean, so far he's proven himself to be absolutely one of the hands down best players this season.
But can you trust someone whose eyes don't blink at the same time?
I can. I can do that.
Because wouldn't that just throw you off? Even if you're just having, like, you're staring deep into his eyes, you've got to notice that. Come on.
Listen, we all have our quirks.
We do.
all have our imperfections. That's what I'll say to that.
Okay. More with Arisa Cox and my Big Brother Canada observations that are guaranteed to get me hate mail right after this.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
Back talking with Arisa Cox, host of Big Brother Canada, and mentioning my observations from this season at SF Celebwatch on Twitter. So naturally we get into Bobby then. Bobby, I think, looks like a Fraggle from Fraggle Rock.
You are the meanest. We definitely got a spot for you on the sideshow. The Equip.
Yes.
Okay, what else have you noticed?
Those are the three. We don't have time for the other ones. But tell me what you've noticed about them.
Let me tell you, I love our cast, so I will never say a bad word about any of them. I love them.
Okay, but tell me some of their quirks then that have caught your eye.
I don't know. I noticed that one thing I learned about Bruno, who was unceremoniously axed. Bruno has a tell. When he's lying, he can't make eye contact.
Okay.
And it's something that it sort of craps up, and I think the house got to him in a way because he was one of the smoothest operators in the house, and for some reason, after the triple eviction and the fallout and the craziness, I think he kind of let go a little bit, and we saw a different side of him, and I think that was interesting watching how that directly impacted his leaving. But yeah, there's a scene, I don't know if you remember from the show, where he's speaking with Brittany, and of course Brittany knows what we know, that she has all this power. And he really can hardly look at her. And at that moment, I think that's when she was like, wait a second, maybe this is my target after all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about the romances, or are they showmances? I don't know. First, Johnny. A little bit boy crazy. Do you think that he really got his heart broken, or was it gameplay?
No, I don't think it was a bit of gameplay. I think you're in there with nothing else to do, so I think it's natural that you're going to maybe have a crush on someone else in there. So I think, honestly, it was like just super fun. And it didn't last all that long, him and Kevin. I think he was pretty hurt, though, by how it all worked out. But I think it was just, I think that was fun. Like, gameplay or not, it was like just fun for both of them.
It's always devastating when you catch your straight boyfriend kissing his girlfriend, hey?
That's awkward. That can get awkward.
So how about Cindy with an S and her slave with an S? What do you think about that?
Oh my God. Again, I think there's nothing else to do. Are you talking about Cindy and Jordan up at Jury House?
Yeah, well, yeah. Is that just an act, or do they have like a 50 Shades kind of relationship going?
You know what? That's a great question. And unfortunately, we don't have a Jury House feed, which I really, really wish we did, so I could get to the bottom of that whole situation. Jury House must be so crazy right now.
Do you know where it is? Can we go there? Should we just show up?
That's probably not a good idea. You remember how these house guests have not seen or hardly spoken to anybody else in the world at this point. So they could be a little shell-shocked if a random bunch of strangers showed up to party.
So they're not locked in their cages or anything like they are in the...
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so between Kevin and Zach, a female here, I've got to ask you. Between Kevin and Zach, who has more game? Let's pretend that you're single and you're ready to mingle. Who would you pick between the two of them?
Oh, honey, I'm married, and I am so much older than all these adorable boys on our show.
Well, no, that's...
That would have to be a very different type of situation. But
okay.
I don't know, they both got game.
Okay, let's just say that you're single and ready to mingle, though. Like, who would each of them have their qualities, yeah, but...
No, that's true. They, we're talking about Kevin and Zach here, right?
Kevin and Zach, yes.
Well, I have to say they're both very smart. They're both quite good at the game of Big Brother, but, and we shall see, obviously. Mm-hmm. Remains to be seen.
Right.
Yeah, they've got beautiful brown eyes, and they've worked out a day or two. Yeah, no, they're both very, very eligible bachelors. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I've made it very awkward. So let's move on then. I was surprised, though, to see how emotional Bruno was. Do you think... I always like the Mr. Tough guy and then watching them break down. I love that. I'm kind of a sick person, but... isn't...
No, I think Bruno's a hot-blooded Italian man.
Yeah.
I think he really missed his children, and he really missed his wife, and I think the house does crazy things to really, really strong people. So I'm not really surprised that he broke down.
We've got to go again. Even more with Arisa Cox from Big Brother Canada right after this.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 41.com. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom41.com.
Arisa Cox from Big Brother Canada continuing on our marathon interview today. So I'm sure people ask you, like, what would make a good quality in a person that would make them a good contender on Big Brother? Like, what should they absolutely, definitely have in their personality or in their lifestyle?
Yeah, well, I'm going to say a strategic mind. And that plays out in many, many different games. You see different kinds of games and different kinds of gamers play Big Brother, and it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. But I think, strategic mind is something that you can't buy with money. And you watch some people be able to just make snap decisions that are so brilliant. You're like, wow, some people really, really get this on a level that not everybody does. I think that would have to be it.
Who's played the best game this season so far?
I can only tell you after the finale. Seriously, like, so many random things could happen that we could not predict. I will say who a lot of people think have what it takes to get to the very end.
Final question. We see a lot of them when they go in to do the vote, they give their little signal. They kiss their charm, they wiggle their ear, they do something. What would be your hello to your loved ones back at home? What would you do?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm not really sure what it would do. It's true. I definitely wouldn't be going like #604, although that actually became insane and actually a little bit cute at the end.
You think? Oh my.
That's a good question. I would have to make some type of hand signal for the initials YEG, which is the airport code for Edmonton, where I live.
Right.
Definitely some type of awkward elbow type hand signal for YEG.
Hey, what? You know what? You just bring this up. You're not doing the somebody's always watching and the hand over your eyes thing and looking around this season. Why aren't you doing that?
That's actually a good point. I never noticed that until you brought that up.
Well, that's going to be
a very good question.
Okay.
I've in rehearsal I do all kinds of crazy things, but on the show you're right, it's been a little bit more chill. You know what? I'm going to do that next time.
Do it
I'm
for
so glad you said that.
Because
watch on Wednesday, I will absolutely do that for you.
Do it for me, because every season Julie Chen, she does the but first pivot at the beginning, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I always want her to dedicate that to me. I tweet her, nothing. So Arisa, you got to do the looking out thing for me. If your mic is up at the time, hey, it's for Jeremy. Something, okay? Just.
I'll do it, man. I'll do it. I'll totally do it.
Oh, I'm PVRing that one, and then I'm gonna be like everybody else and take pictures of the TV and tweet that out there.
Right, awesome.
All right, well, we're all watching Big Brother Canada on Global, and they've bumped up your pay, right? Because you're a major network now, not just a slice, right?
Oh yeah, that's why they pay me the big bucks. No, you know what? This is Canada, so let's just say I honestly would do this job for free. It's that much fun. But don't tell them that.
No. And that's why they've even scaled it back. She's now got a bus ticket back to Edmonton, not even a plane.
Correct.
Oh, Arisa Cox, always love chatting with you. Thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching. It's been such a roller coaster this season. I cannot wait to see how it all ends up.
Oh, we're watching it on Global.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com. Scribble Dribble brought to you by SpeakFreeWithJB.com. Thank you. Check out syndicated newspaper columnist Jeremy Bradley's rants and raves in his weekly news and entertainment columns.
Yay.
That's at SpeakFreeWithJB.com. Since he's paid to not shut up, God knows why. Once again, Jeremy Bradley.
We're back here on The Scribble. Jeremy Bradley once again at the controls. My thanks to Arisa Cox, host of Big Brother, for joining us. Again, the big season finale, Wednesday night on Global, and I guess at bigbrother.ca or bigbrother.com, bigbrothercanada.ca or bigbrothercanada.com if you're tuning in from the U.S. And I'll be live tweeting all night at SF Celeb Watch, so hope you'll join me there at SF Celeb Watch. Now, in other reality show news, so we talked about Letterman, we talked about Big Brother Canada. Also, the Survivor finale was a couple of days ago. Actually, these were all these shows were on the same night. I had about 5 hours of tweeting that I was doing that night. But after the winner was crowned, the cast for the next season, the Second Chance people, were announced. Now, it was interesting when Jeff Probst was going through the audience and bringing back, having some of them stand up and say, you know, what season they were on. And I'm looking at the list of the names right now. Some of them I remember some of them. But then I'm looking at this just going, yeah, no idea who these people are. And that's something that I thought too, even, you know, that happens every season on reality shows. So when Survivor was sort of doing the recap from the beginning of the season on Wednesday night, I didn't remember like 3-4 of the people. And even then, Will, the big guy Will, who was one of the finalists, didn't even remember him this entire season. So let's take a look at the people who are coming back for a second chance. Kelly Wigglesworth, yes, I remember. Now, isn't this interesting, though, that same thing with American Idol. I remember the people from the first season. That's before TV was just saturated with these reality shows, right? Even though we could watch every season of The Voice or The Bachelor or American Idol, whatever it is, it's those first seasons that we remember, right? We all remember Richard Hatch and Sue and Rudy and all those people. Now you're kind of... And Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Oh, God love her, right? But Kelly Wigglesworth, Jeff Varner, Kimmy Kappenberg, Andrew Savage, Terry Dietz, PG Law, Stephen Fishbeck, Monica Padilla, Abby Maria Gomez, Sierra Easton, Vitus, and I remember, it's Vitus, because I remember saying fetus all the time, Cass McQuillan, Spencer Bledsoe, Tasha Fox, Wu Huang, Jeremy Collins, Keith Nail, Kelly Wentworth, Joe Anglem, Shirini Oskui. Seriously, do any of those names mean anything to you? Even if you are the biggest Survivor fan, I find it hard to remember all these people, especially if there's like 15, 16 people every season. They're going to season 31 now. You know, we've had Jeff Probst. He was on episode 1 of The Scribble. I should have asked that. How long does it take you to remember all of the people's names from the season? And do you ever get them wrong? Really? It's just crazy. So if you're going to be watching, you know, that's one of those shows, too, that Survivor was one of the first reality shows. When I talked with Jeff a couple years ago on the radio shows, aside from Cops, that Survivor is like the longest-running reality show. So now in the Emmys, they've got the reality competition category, and that's what it is. But seriously, do you remember when Survivor first started? Everybody was having these Survivor parties. I remember that. And then even on the news, I remember I was out at the lake with my parents and my brothers, and we were coming back, and the Survivor finale was on that night. And even on the radio, which I think it was a Sunday night if I'm not mistaken, Survivor used to end on a Sunday, they were actually talking about it on the radio because it was just this huge phenomenon. And now, look at what happens when American Idol ended. The biggest news was that American Idol was cancelled. That was the biggest news of the season for Fox. Not about who won, because in all honesty, I'm an entertainment reporter, no idea. And normally, here's something interesting, a fun fact for you. Normally, the Fox media website has a page where you can sign up to get media credentials to cover the Idol finale. It wasn't even up there this year, so that's also saying something about the show. They didn't even bring up that page, and then they announced the cancellation. But who won American Idol this season? Don't know. Who's won the last 5 seasons? I have no idea. You know, we used to cover the show for Top of the Charts, our syndicated radio show, and lots of people used to be like chatting about it all night, and this was before the days of Twitter and sort of, yeah, almost really Facebook as well. But we would post things to our radio show's website, and the people that would email, it would just be nonstop for the entire night. Now, no idea. What are the big shows now? It's all those housewives shows where they're beating the crap out of each other. That's reality, right? Everybody loves the Kardashians, right? All right, so you know what? We are almost out of time. I want to thank everybody who, again, has subscribed, who's downloaded, who's tweeted, who's commented, who's emailed. It wouldn't be this podcast without you, honestly. 30 minutes flies by when I'm sitting here talking because I know that you're going to have a good laugh with us, and I want to thank you for making this podcast a success. So I will be back, same time, same place next week. If you're subscribing on iTunes, it's just going to download for you. I'm learning about iTunes while we're doing this podcast as well. Follow us on Twitter at The Scribble Show and thescribbleshow.com, and you can also check it out on SoundCloud and iTunes. This is Jeremy Bradley on The Scribble. I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
If you want some real heat,